Hey, thank you so much for being here. It is In Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell, and that's Bob Ross right there. So that's how we do things. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate you hanging out. We do this every day at noon, and let's get to this because what we saw last night was nothing short of elder abuse. It was almost evil. It really was. I'm talking about day 2 of the DNC, which is just an absolute mess. Check this out. One of those goofy Democrat advocates, not advocates, whatever, agitators, posted this last night. Check this out. Woo! Such excitement. Democrats doing the wave inside the DNC. LFG. Let's freaking go is what that stands for. Look at that. Such excitement. They're doing the wave. Isn't that cool? Sad thing is that's actually a Metallica concert. That's not from inside the DNC. But you just kind of shrug your shoulders and go, yeah, that's kind of par for the course. You had everybody, all of the mutineers were there last night. I know it sounds like Mouseketeers. All of the mutineers got their time on stage at the DNC before, and basically just, I think Senator Coons actually eulogized Joe Biden's his career. And I mean, just think about this. You have a who's who of who's who. You have Hillary, you have AOC, you have Clyburn, Coons. Who else got up there? Biden's daughter. These were the people that ousted him. These are the people that kneecapped this guy. They subverted democracy, all while hollering about saving democracy. It was the weirdest thing. What's up, Grizz? Yeah, Bob said, what up? I can't be the only one that was dumbfounded by what I was watching. You're watching a propaganda infomercial for, I don't even know if they knew what it was. This was a night of, are we saying goodbye to Joe, or are we saying hi to Kamala? Are we backing Kamala, or are we just making sure that Joe gets his time on stage? I could have pulled a bunch of it. I could have pulled a bunch of clips from his speech, but it was screaming, yelling. Everyone else was yelling as well. What did Raskin come up with, that fraudster Raskin? He came, Jamie Raskin said, the banana Republicans. Banana Republicans. A banana republic. You literally, you pulled off a coup. And you're calling Republicans a banana republic. By the way, and then you celebrated the coup. And then you dragged his old bones out to the stage to rub his nose in it. I am blown away by what the Democrats have done at the DNC. I'm absolutely blown away. I didn't think they could surprise me anymore, but they did. They did, because it was a absolute S show. And, oh, by the way, everything was late. And just so the propaganda continues, the campaign, Harris's campaign surrogate said, yes, it was definitely, we were definitely late. It was just because of the, all of the applause, these standing ovations. It just set the whole time back, set the whole clock back. Right. That's an oceanfront Yuma to sell you as well. So, oh, that is such a great oceanfront property in Arizona. Such a great song. It's a fantastic song. Was I the only one? Were you guys surprised by any of that? I would, like, again, I didn't think the Democrats could surprise me. They did, because it was gross. I don't like Joe Biden, but I'll tip the hat to anybody who has a 52-year career. I really will. I don't like the guy. I think he's probably the worst president. Him and Carter running neck and neck. I think Biden overtook him. But I did not like to see what I saw last night. Nancy Pelosi's in the, gumming her way through We Love Joe chants. Ilhan Omar looked like she was about to just punch somebody. It was the weirdest. It was weird. And the funny thing is, they're calling J.D. Vance weird. Yeah, J.D. Vance is a weird one. Yeah. And Chris, but I thought the same way, that nothing surprises me anymore. That was surprising. And Joe looked terrible. And then Jill reminding everybody that Beau Biden and Kamala were special friends. Like, what are you guys aren't hiding it at all. You guys are not hiding this at all. But just, spare me. Just absolutely spare me this whole we're saving democracy crap when you, as an entire party, have subverted democracy the last 3 presidential election cycles. Don't pretend anymore. And by the way, Jamie, I'm sorry, just it's in my mind right now because I saw a clip from Jamie Raskin's speech before I came on, and I got to tell you, I don't know if I've seen a bigger fraudster than that guy. I don't think there's a more. I remember he had a cancer diagnosis, which totally sucks, right? And immediately threw the bandana on his head with a full head of hair. Threw the bandana on so we could look at all of the hearings, at all of the meetings, and every time the camera was in there, he had his whatever on. Skull. I don't even know what it was. The bandana thing, right? I don't think I can call it what I've called it my whole life. What my mom used to wear those damn things all the time, and she called it, but I don't know why we can't call it a do-rag anymore. Anyway, he throws that on just for sympathy. And then somebody in his campaign for when he ran for re-election or somebody, I don't know who, pointed it out to him, said, hey, dude, you have hair. He had hair flipping out like I have hair flipping out of my hat. It's like, dude, you are an absolute shameless ass. And he's up there talking about banana Republicans. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And Steve brings up a good point there. The DNC is a train wreck from the get-go. Ever since they nominated Kamala. Man, people are getting really ticked off about people saying Kamala or Kamala. People are getting really ticked off. Why? I mean, it's a name no one's heard of before. It's not a standard name. Her name isn't Susan, right? Her name isn't Jennifer or Rebecca. It's Kamala. We've never heard of that before. So if you say Kamala, please. That's I guess that's racist now. I don't know if you caught that, but Representative Mace was dressed down on CNN by a black co-host that was there, and she said Kamala, and he basically called her racist. Absolutely blown away by that. Yeah. So David, is very good to see you here, pal. Thanks for playing along here in the comments as well. But I thought I couldn't be blown away by the Dems, and absolutely. Yeah. I do like the variations of the Kamala name, though. I really do. And basically, we've been talking about this woman for 4.5 years. So, I mean, we should have it down by now. I mean, it is Kamala. I think it's pretty damn easy, but come on, to say that if you mispronounce it, it's racist. I mean, Trump mispronounces it. Biden mispronounces it. It is what it is. I just really think that that was a disgusting display of elder abuse last night, and Jill Biden should be ashamed of herself. And it was pretty damn funny seeing all of the mutineers in the crowd, everybody that just took Joe out. They don't hide it anymore. They're not going to hide it anymore. And so here's the deal. You could hate Kamala. You could love Kamala. You could hate Trump. You could love Trump. This election comes down to one thing. It just really does come down to one thing. Can we do another 4 years of this? Because what kind of nonsense they're subscribing to at the DNC, talking about 16 million jobs created, a secure border. Are you bleeping kidding? Like, can we do this again? America has had its ass kicked a bunch. We have been sucker punched. We have been through depressions. We have dealt with craptastic leadership for a minute. But we, the people, are the most incredible group of people on the planet. And I think we can survive it. But damn, do we want to? I don't want to survive, y'all. I want to thrive like I was 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago. I want to thrive. Not 4 years ago. That was that whole COVID thing. But I want it to be, I want to look at my kids. Happy birthday, intern Beans. I want to look at my kids and say, they're going to be okay. Because another 4 years of this, my kids aren't going to, how do my kids survive? How do your kids survive? I mean, and I'm sorry about survive. They're going to survive. They'll be fine. But it's going to suck. That's all there is to it. It's going to be terrible for them. And I ask Kamala supporters and voters, do you hate one man so much that you would put your children in a position where they have to pay now, probably at the end of what would be Biden's second term, but Kamala's term, probably 50% higher in rent than they're paying now? And she's talking about price fixing? I mean, damn. Guys, I would just say this. People, are you voting for Trump? Say, okay, are you voting for 4 more years of what we just had? That should be the return question. Don't even say Kamala, because God forbid you mispronounce it. But don't even say Kamala. Oh, you're voting for Trump? Yeah. I'm not. Okay, so you're voting for 4 more years of what we just got. You're voting for how many more migrants you want to out there? There was some dude outside the DNC, and we'll get to outside the DNC in a second. But there was this dude out there that said, I want all Republicans to leave the country, and I want all the migrants to come in. That's what I want. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. Oh, my goodness sakes, Steve. All those things there, buddy. Yeah. So funny, he's surrounded by Michigan deputies instead of the Secret Service. Yeah. I mean, why Secret Service is that? Did you see they had a video of that dude? Yeah, the shooter. They had a video of the dude walking around the pre-Trump event, just kind of like right up in right there, like meet a Bob, kind of right there. So that was kind of weird. But yeah, if I was Trump, I wouldn't. There's no way in the world. If I was Trump, the majority of my campaign money would go to private security. Not majority. A piece of the campaign money would go to private security because the Secret Service just absolutely sucks. There's just come on. I wouldn't trust him. I wouldn't trust him. Yeah. And it's funny he's in Michigan too, because that bozo Whitmer. She is the Nit Whitmer. Oh, Governor Nit Whitmer. That's her. Governor Nit Whitmer is at the DNC right now. But do you remember when she was almost kidnapped? That the CIA and the FBI thwarted 8 individuals that were going to kidnap Governor Whitmer. Nit Whitmer. Got it. Governor Nit Whitmer. They're going to kidnap and kill her. Of the 8, 5 were feds. Look it up. Fact check it. I'm not kidding. 5 of the 8 people that were going to kidnap and kill Gretchen Whitmer were federal agents, undercover. Rob loves that stuff, man. Somewhere Rob Hunter just went, is he talking about? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What an absolute crazy mess it is. So let's think about outside of the DNC. And we'll get to other news. This is the news of the day. Outside of the DNC are just protests, crazy protests, crazy protests, all like free Palestine, free Palestine. Again, bozos don't know what they're talking about. There were a couple that would actually seem mildly level-headed that were just like, look, we just need to, if we could do something and get, Dim Whitmer. Oh, I like that one too. Great job, Chris. The people just saying, look, we're just tired of, wars and people dying. Okay. Cool. That's a really cool thing to protest, by the way. And that's a solid stance. But for the most part, is the people out there with the flags and the nonsense. They have no idea what they're talking about. But this is the monster that the Democrats have created. They've created this monster. They've shown, hey, it's okay to protest and burn stuff down and vandalize things, and you're not going to get in trouble for doing any of that. They made this bed. And then they had the DNC in Chicago like a bunch of idiots. But anyway, they're there. And it was absolutely absurd to see them breaking in and, with their signs and their stupidity and all of that. It was just fun to see that this is literally the entire atmosphere, the vibe that these knuckleheads have created, and it makes them look like idiots. There is not going to be a post DNC bump in polls for Kamala. It's just not going to happen. They have already screwed this up enough, and we the people understand that, and we the people see that just absolute absurdity. And how creepy was it too? Joe Biden's daughter introduced him. Like, again, not even hiding it. We're gonna have Ashley Biden out there, who we have her diary confirmed. Daddy did pervy things with her in the shower. Like, what in the? And she introduces him. Man, they don't even care. They don't even care anymore. It absolutely. Again, guys, I didn't think I could be surprised anymore, but here I am. Shock and awe, I tell you. Absolute shock and awe. Yeah. But anyway, the fantastic you notice, by the way, there aren't masses protesting outside of the DNC. I mean, it isn't the numbers that you see. Why? Let's talk about that. Why do you not see massive numbers? There's a good amount of people there, but those are people that are actually just there to protest. But why is it that at the DNC, where these people really have something to protest in their minds, why isn't it the high numbers, the volume, the destruction that we usually see with these kind of protests? Why? I'll tell you why. Because they're at the DNC. Because the Democrat supporters are usually the ones that fund these types of protests. So there's no one funding these protests. There's no one funding the looting and all of that. No one is. They don't have matching signs like they normally do. They're not walking in unison. They're not all showing up at the same time. These are actually people that just want to show up and protest. They're just not being paid to be there. That's why it's not as crazy as it was, because crazy as it could be, or as crazy as you might think it would be, because all the people that fund those types of things are inside the building. Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Again, Steve, we like to play as a team here. The DNC will whore out their. Oh yeah, absolutely they would. And really surprised actually by introducing that. I'm telling you, I didn't think I could be surprised, buddy. They surprised me. They did. And I think that, and you're right, they will whore their own families out to get to their agenda. You've seen a coup happen right before our eyes, and then they celebrated it. They celebrated their accomplishments and then brought the old bag of bones out to look like a complete fool. And why is everybody yelling? Holy mackerel. They all started screaming. And then they bring little Kamala out. And she's right in the middle. She's got her microphone like this is just like some impromptu thing. Like, let me go out and talk to my people. Nope. No, she had a giant teleprompter in the back of the room, and they couldn't even give her 3 minutes and say, just go out there and talk and tell people you love them and thank them for being here and, really get them riled up. Kamala, you got it. Nope. You see those eyes lock as her head tracks, her eyes lock. She's reading. I'm a nerd like that. I don't know if you guys understand that about me. I'm a total nerd when it comes to body language. Like body language, how people are sitting, how people are standing, how they're swaying, how they're shifting, how they speak. And because you can tell a lot of what's going on and you can gauge a lot when you start paying attention to these things. And Kamala is just absolutely terrible at trying to act like she's being extemporaneous. Yeah, I used a multisyllabic word. Be surprised. It's okay. Every now and again, I'll pull a college word out. Extemporaneous. Thank you guys for hanging out and playing along here. So what's up, Truman? Oh, yeah. Dude, seriously. It's amazing. Yeah, the voice I'm telling you, it's the inflections. If you pay attention to these things, especially when a politician is speaking, you're going to learn a lot. You're just going to learn a lot. But that's what's going on at the DNC, and it seems to get better by the minute. And watching the pundits on MSNBC and CNN just fall all over themselves trying to act like everything is fine. Everything's good. Everything's fine. This is fine. Everything's okay. Everything's good. We, the people, have forgiven us for subverting democracy, and we can just keep pointing the finger over to the other side of the aisle and saying they're the ones that are a threat to democracy. That's the overarching theme of this thing, is that the Republicans are going to take democracy away from us. How about this, y'all? Again, this is why we do a thing called In Other News, is because while everyone's paying attention to that, while they are saying, oh, Kamala's got this. Oh, look at that. There's going to be a bump. There's going to be a big ratings bump. While everyone would talk about that, are we taking our eyes off of what's happening with monkeypox and the bird flu? Bird flu and monkeypox are going to be the big talk, and they're ramping it up. And they're ramping it up in ways that I think 175 million doses have been purchased by your federal government for bird flu vaccines. 175 million. Now, why would you just do that right before an election? And haven't really heard a lot about bird flu. Maybe a couple of cases you heard about. Hell, monkeypox. I mean, but monkeypox, I think there was 9 cases or something like that. And they're like, it's a pandemic. And there's one way to not get monkeypox, gang. One way. It's easy to not get it. And by the way, is anyone, again, not hiding it, and no one wants to ask the question why young people and animals are now getting it? Yeah. No one want to ask that question? There's one way to get it. Now young people, minors, and animals are getting it? Oh, telling you. It's the government flu. Yeah. Oh, my goodness sakes. Are you serious? After months of saying Trump was oh, yeah, there you go. Yes. Yeah. She backed out. Yeah, she backed out of the second Fox debate. Why are we surprised at that? Okay, no, hold on a second here. Put yourself in the DNC shoes. Put yourself in the Democrat Party's shoes. Why would they put her out and do anything? They just had a $300 million social media ad buy. 300 million. I think it's 370. 370 million. Why would they put Kamala out and do anything? They won an election with Joe Biden from the basement. The man had teleprompters to help him answer questions from his basement. And I get that. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory. They never proved that he had teleprompters. Yeah. He likes to show a picture in a lot of his interviews from the basement. He likes to show a picture of him and his 2 sons, Bo and Hunter. And when he holds the picture up, the glass that covers the picture in the frame reflects his teleprompter. You see it right there, plain as day. So, yes, it has been. So, and Brandon Wright, Katie Hobbs became the governor of Arizona by doing nothing. I'm still governor? Do I have to do any of the debates? My girlfriend hates it when I do that impression. It's a winning strategy. It's a winning strategy. Now, Trump is the very opposite of that, and I applaud him for doing that. And by the way, Carrie Lake's doing the same garbage. Carrie Lake is not doing anything. She beat probably the most qualified person to be a senator in the primaries in Sheriff Lamb. by not debating. It apparently is a winning strategy. Mm-hmm. Oh, Grizz, that's an interesting question about old Joester. Yeah. Why was his daughter never in the pics? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll say it. She was in the shower. Whatever. It's her diary. It's literally her diary talking about how creepy that is. In Hunter Biden's phone, by the way. Hunter Biden's phone, when daddy calls, it says pedo Pete. I'm not kidding. So I'm sure it's changed since that revelation, but that was when the laptop was there. He was in Hunter's phone as pedo Pete. Not dad, not El Presidente, not POTUS, not even POTUS dad. It was pedo Pete. I love watching those. You guys follow this stuff on like Instagram and stuff like that? Like I Fight for Kids and those where the dudes just catch it is Chris Hansen on steroids. It is Chris Hansen in the best way. Because Chris Hansen, To Catch a Predator, that was one of my guilty pleasures. Now I get to watch this all the time. I love pedos getting busted. I love it. And good. Entrapment, fine. If we want to be okay with any sort of police action and entrapment, that's the kind I'm down with. I'm so down with that. I don't think you'll get an argument from anybody. That I love following those guys. Some of them, and this will kind of lead back to Chris Hansen, but some of them will just like slap them. They'll pin, they'll say, okay, they'll pose as like a 14-year-old, right? Or a 12-year-old. And they'll say, meet me at Walgreens or Walmart or something like that. And we can be in the bathroom and do naughty things. And then but the people that are catching them and filming this, they're the actual, kid, right? So then they get there and they confront the person and they just start slapping them. Like, what are you going to do? You going to call the cops on us? Go ahead and call the cops. Smack. Call the cops. Smack. And I love it. Yeah, I shouldn't love it, but I do love it. And I mean, that person was there to do naughty things with a minor. So I'm totally okay with them getting slapped. They get chased out of the building and the guy's yelling behind him. He's like, this is so-and-so. He was here to have sex with a 13-year-old boy. Screaming in the store, dude, just shaming him. And then the cops are waiting outside. It's fantastic. Somebody asked Chris Hansen about that. They asked Chris Hansen, and he was like, well, this kind of vigilante kind of stuff is, it's going to get people in trouble. And he didn't like it because he was kind of like the granddaddy of, catching the predators. Yeah. Sorry, Chris. The world's changed. We're getting a little more aggressive when it comes to child trafficking and pedos. We just really are. And there's a lot of there's a lot of high name people that will not allow this to be as big of a deal as it should be because they're involved in it. I'm not talking about Pizzagate or anything like that. I'm talking about trafficking is huge. And by the way, can somebody tap the Trump team and just say, can we stay on the gas with this 80,000 kids, these minors that are missing now? These migrant minors that are missing? Tearing babies away from mother's arms. How about shipping them and selling them? $90 is average. You can buy a kid for $90. California just shot down a law. Let me see if I can find this here. California just shot down a law because they claimed that it was going to be too expensive. Let me get the spectacles on here and let me see if I can find this because it is absolutely astounding. Here, I believe this is it. Let's give it a try here. I believe this is it.
Proposal to ramp up the penalties for child sex buyers is known as SB 1414.
Child sex buyers. You heard this. Child sex buyers.
And it is still working its way through the state's lawmaking process, but not without some debate. So today, the Assembly's powerful Appropriations Committee held a brief hearing on the bill before placing the proposal on what's known as the suspense file. This is basically a list of bills that are expected to cost the state a significant amount of money. Okay. And next week, lawmakers will decide if the bills on that list pass or die without public discussion. But in today's discussion, Governor Newsom's Department of Finance said right off the bat, the intentions of this bill are good, but strictly for money reasons, it's against SB 1414.
ramping up the punishment for people that literally purchase children for sex. It's just too expensive, says California. It's just too expensive. I'm not playing. This is we can continue
because it will cost the state a lot and increase California's prison population. The governor himself, though, has said he supports this bill. The author of the proposal, State Senator Shannon Grove, said people who buy children for sex need to be behind bars.
Amen.
That was an absurd argument.
Yes.
To say that it's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars to lock these individuals up that buy children for sex, and it would roll back their prison exodus that they've been letting people out of prison is ridiculous. If you look at traumatized youth that have been bought and sold for sex, it costs the state upwards of $300,000 just for basic services.
Yep.
If you take a 13-year-old that you'd have to take care of till they're 18. And then not even that, but the trauma that that person as an adult would experience all their life. Lower income jobs, those kinds of things that traumatically affect these kids. It's ridiculous.
Now, another issue that has divided lawmakers over this bill, how it affects 16 and 17-year-olds. For now, the bill as written gives district attorneys the ability to charge someone who buys these older teens for sex as either a misdemeanor or a felony.
You're hearing this. Y'all, you're hearing this is real. What's being debated is, the 16 and 17-year-olds. I mean, come on. This is really happening. And again, how in the hell did we normalize this? How in the hell is this? How? I mean, in the fact, by the way, especially there's these vigilante dudes who I love. I subscribe to their stuff because I want to. I subscribe because I want to support what they do. But I mean, you see that. It's all over social media, and these people think they can still get away with it. I love watching them get arrested. It is fabulous. I saw a woman for the first time, two women I saw getting locked up. This kind of stuff. Yeah. Oh, the minor attracted. Don't even get me started, Truman. Dude. Okay, Truman triggered me. How about that? The Alphabet Group now calling them minor attracted persons. Yeah, pedos. Minor, and he's right in saying that, by the way. It's been around for a little bit, about a minute. So, yeah, minor attracted persons. It is absolutely shocking to say that is a sexual orientation, that they're somewhere on the LGBTQ spectrum that they can say, yeah, whatever. I'm attracted to kids. No. And by the way, NAMBLA is a thing, y'all. North American Man Boy Love Association. It is a thing. Or if you ask, what is it on South Park? The National Association of Marlon Brando Lookalikes. Oh, man. And this is, it's normalized. And we had a man on stage at the DNC last night that did basically showered with his teenage daughter all the time. And she had to journal about it. She had a diary about it. And we're just like, yeah, he is the president. Yes, it's kind of the way it goes. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Brendan. Yes. Ammo attracted persons. That's right. Yes. You're now an ammo file because we all got our wireless hole punchers out. Please follow him too. If you guys want some, it's pretty funny. It's entertaining. He's on the gram and on the Twitter. Steve Inman, which is my brother's name, and that's actually how I found him. He does some funny. He's a comedian. He does voiceovers as if like some crime videos and closed circuit TV videos. He kind of announces them like almost like a sporting event. It's pretty fantastic. It really is. So that's where I got wireless hole puncher, a gun. He calls it. You bust out the wireless hole puncher, gives him a hot dose of lettuce salad. Yes. So I borrow some of his funny stuff. I do. But yes, weird that just everybody seems to be okay with, so what, what, I bought a kid or two. So he showers with his teenage daughter. You know, and James, you're right. It is a mental illness. It truly, truly is. And can you fix that? Like, seriously, can you fix that? It's odd to me how my attraction has changed. And I was talking to Queen Bee about this a while ago because she's the oldest woman I've been with. And to think that I would be even attracted to somebody in their mid-40s when I was a younger kid, like, are you kidding me? Those people are ancient. They're old. How is it, no way. And to think that, I mean, to me, at the time, like 20s was like so hot, right? I see people in their 20s, like, like intern Sarah and her and her friends. I'm like, you're just a bunch of babies. There's a bunch of little kids. Yeah. I'm surprised. Sometimes, Sarah and her husband walk in and I'm like, they're married. They're kids. And now I'm like, ooh, what's up? Girls in their 50s. How you doing? Like my beautiful girlfriend's 40 something, done like a day over 35. But I'm like, what's up? I don't understand. And going back to this, it's a mental illness, like James said. You have to have something really, really wrong with you to even like my age. Like when I got divorced, like, gonna get a younger model. Was it this? I'm like, yeah, no. You have to have something. Something's not firing right to even be that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. High velocity lead cures a lot of that type of mental illness. But then, you get into it. I saw Richard Branson. I saw him talking about, the death penalty and how archaic and out of date it is and stuff like that. And I would challenge him. What if somebody raped your daughter? Yeah, the death penalty, not okay with that? Still not okay with it? I'm an advocate for the death penalty. I truly am. And it's kind of weird. You guys want to peel back some curtain? You want the ABC and me? How about this? My biggest fear is being put to death for something I didn't do. That's my biggest fear. I hate even being accused of something that I didn't do. Being put to death for something I didn't do is my biggest fear. Yeah, but I'm an advocate for the death penalty. My hypocrisy knows no bounds. Mm-hmm. What is it? Is that from Tombstone? My hypocrisy knows no bounds or something. When Doc Holliday said that? I think Doc Holliday has somewhere between, I think only like 4 or 5 confirmed kills, but he has like this notorious gunslinger vibe to him. And he's wasn't a big thing. Andy was a dentist. That's why his name was Doc Holliday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Grizz. That's not Grizz. Yes. Yeah. The 20-year gap is just like, what? Yeah. I couldn't even imagine. I don't even know if I could have a conversation with a 21-year-old or a 25-year-old. So say it's 20 less than me. So a 29-year-old. I don't think I could have a conversation with them. That isn't like, some, giving uncle or fatherly advice. That would be that'd be be weird conversational foreplay. Yeah. Talking about like, are you saving enough? Oh my goodness sakes. Yeah. Okay. All right. Brendan says his wife's 3.5 years older than him. Right. We don't say that. She was worried about the age gap when they started dating. That's funny. It's 29 at the time, but you're 29 at the time, dude. Okay. It's funny. It's at that cusp. So 29 and then so 30, but then she's 32, right? If I'm doing the math right, she's 32. And you're like, I can see that, like, because you're 29, you're not 30 yet, right? And she's 32. You're like, ooh, she's in her 30s. Sup, Dana? She probably felt like she was robbing the cradle, man. That's funny. Yes. Dude. Okay, so Jim, look, he said, ditto on death penalty. Saudi Arabia has methods to deter crime. First-hand knowledge. Is that a pun? First-hand knowledge. I'm not against it. I've seen so many guys in different countries. I've seen so many public executions. They just lay the people down, laid them on their stomach, tied up, and just gun right to the head. Done. And everybody's gathered around. They're like, Pedophiles caught in the act, done. Maybe not in this case where they're setting them up, and they catch them in the store or something like that. I mean, caught in the act, you got some kids or something like that, or you've purchased a child, straight to death penalty. Straight. Like there should be no jury of it. Let me do it this way. Let me do this. So you get picked up. Just flesh this out. You get picked up in a big van, like almost like a limo van, right? Got 12 people in there and a judge and an attorney. And when you get picked up, there's your trial. Guilty by a jury of your peers, sentenced to death. Right over there. You purchased children. No? I don't know. I think we could work it out. Maybe. Mm-hmm. James, I'm not going to throw that up there unless you want me to. Mm-hmm. Listen, older conservative women, I got to tell you, there's a difference in this. Okay, so watch the DNC. Like we talked about at the beginning here. We're just going way off the rails, and I love it. I'm sorry, guys. My allergies are going crazy. You watch the DNC and think back to the RNC. There is a completely different aesthetic. Completely. And I'm talking about the people in the crowd. I'm not talking about skin color, socioeconomic, anything. I'm talking about RNC's a little more done up, a little more buttoned up, got the ties, got the nice, slacks, loafers, kind of like this. The women got the hair done, the makeup, boom, boom, boom. DNC, it's like they just rolled out of bed. They might be wearing deodorant. I look at those crowds and I'm like, you're kind of looking like you stink. Yeah. What's there doing? Oh, I like this. All right, Rhonda, what's up? Yeah. Hey, 28. If you are, come on. If you are a woman in your 30s or 40s and a young kid's like hitting on you, that's got to be cool, right? And I think for a woman, it's a total different ball game. So for a guy like me, 49, let's say that some 22, 23-year-old girl starts hitting on me, it's awkward. Like it's just like I just feel like I could get in trouble for this. I don't like this at all. But I think for a woman to be like, oh man, this young buck, taking his shot. I think that's cool. I do. Yeah. I don't think I even had the courage. I was, like I said, public speaking major. I had no problem with talking to people. I was in sales my whole life. And I don't think I had the courage to go talk to an older woman. I know. Yeah. I sure as heck wasn't talking to the younger one. Mm-hmm. All right. So Brendan's helping me flesh this out a little bit. Mm-hmm. RNC babes are hot. I like it. All right. They get picked up in a van, put to sleep, and then they wake up in a dark room, zip tied to a chair. Only an occasionally flickering light bulb and me waiting in the corner wearing a skull mask. Brendan, I'm with you. Let's give that a try. I'm totally in with that. Yeah, let's make that happen. Okay. All right, let's go. Yeah, okay. Big confidence booster. Oh, I bet it is. Yeah, it is. Dexter. It does seem very Dexterish, but I'm in. What do we do with them, y'all? Here's the deal. That's why I'm saying, like, they can see these videos. These pedos see the videos. These pedos know what happened. There's one guy. He's got this big bushy beard, and he's a big dude. He's a big guy. And he sits and talks to him. He's like, so how long you been talking to them? How long you been talking to girls this age? Yeah, what'd she say? She was 10, 12. Yeah. What's the youngest ever talk? He interviews them essentially as the cops are coming. Just gets their guard down. And they talk about some stuff that they've seen on, whatever site that they keep talking. I forget what the site they always talk about that they're on and they're finding these kids. But they talk about the videos that are shared and pictures that are sent to them. And I'm like, this is absolutely disgusting. It's a real thing. And nothing is going to happen in my outdoor world. You always play along on the Go Show with me. In my outdoor world, the biggest, the P word, right? It's poaching. And I always say that we're not going to eliminate poaching. Poaching is always going to happen if until you stop just giving people slaps on the hand. So let me tell you something. So somebody goes and caps like 5 elk, right? And then they get busted for it. I think because we are streaming live though, but I think that this is Intern Beans coming in. Is that Intern Beans? Intern Beans! It's Intern Beans' birthday. Happy birthday, sweetie.
Thank you, Daddy.
Ah, see, my girl. Yeah. All right, we're talking about gross stuff like pedophiles. So anyway, yeah, fun, right? You look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
So back to this. So you're poaching, and let's say they bust like 5 elk, they kill like 5 elk. They the crew says happy birthday. How do you heard that? She'll thank you guys. So there is, but they might have their fishing and hunting license suspended for like 5 years, and then maybe a $5,000 fine. No jail time, no nothing. And why would a poacher worry about having a license anyway? They're a damn stupid mangy poacher. So if you don't get serious about it, and if you don't get like up those punishments and ramp up those punishments, nothing's going to happen, especially to these pedos. Even in the state of California, where their excuse was, it's going to cost us tens of thousands of dollars to up the punishment for people that buy children for sex. They turn it down because it's going to cost about $10,000-$20,000. We can't do that. That's the same state that spent how many billion, like $1.5 billion or something like that, laying down like a mile of high-speed rail. Yeah, it's absolutely mind-blowing that we can't, that we're just being blatant about it. I guess kind of the theme of the day. So they're not hiding it anymore. But until we start getting these, kind of going Dexter, like Brendan was talking about on these pedos, there's just no one to say. Until we actually have a answer, and not just, oh wow, that really sucks. I bet that's going to win Trump points if we keep pointing out that 80,000 minors are missing. 80,000, y'all. 80,000. We just got that'll probably win Trump some points. What? Instead of, oh no, we really want answers. We demand answers here to why we can't find 80,000. I think, what does Cardinal Stadium hold? 40,000? It's 2 of those. Yeah. Kids don't know where they are now. Just absolutely. It's yeah, I'm getting myself fired up about that thing. Holy mackerel. And by the way, how about this? Let's just go, because I'm going to have to change the subject here. How about this? You can actually go on online, and you can buy and this is I'm looking at it right now. You can actually buy a box for $75. This is actually, people are selling these things. I'm sorry, $85. To buy a cardboard box that you can get buried in. You can just go. It's $85. It is by, let me see who this is here. It's called, it's one of the options. It's just basic cardboard box, and that is for you to be buried in. So I kind of thought about that when we're talking about the pedos, because they deserve something to that. Yeah, basically. Mm-hmm. All right, what did Jim say here? 80K. Yeah, that we know of, by the way. I would like to say whoever's in charge of that and lost these kids, I'd like to see them in an $85 cardboard box. I'd like to see these pedos in an $85 cardboard box. That's all they deserve. They don't even deserve burial. Yes. So Beans from the cheap seats has hollowed out the forever box. Good Lord. Oh man. But I mean, do you guys have that? I think everybody knows exactly how I'm supposed to go. Like when I go, exactly what's supposed to happen. I haven't done my creepy video yet, though. I should do a creepy video. I want to do a creepy video. I think it's going to be it's going to be maybe make you cry, make you laugh, then cry, then laugh, bring you up, bring you down, bring you up, bring you down, and then send you off with the worst dad joke I could possibly think of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And coyotes need to eat too. That's a good point, Jim. That's right. We just leave them out there. We just leave them out there. But I got to tell you though, when the pedos are arrested, when they do go to jail, there is some serious justice that goes down with them. But at the same time, I'm sure that some of these creeps and freaks would actually like it. So, yeah. We need a little bit of a decompression session, don't we? Holy sweet mother of all things. This, we'll end each and every show, each and every day with a little decompression session, and just kind of get our minds off of things here, and maybe into something that makes us laugh. And I always have one standing by. Thank goodness sakes. The reason why I found this so funny is I am accused a lot of not asking questions. Believe it or not, that's my job. I don't ask a lot of questions. Like if I told Queen Bee, I said, intern Beans is she's homesick. Oh, really? What does she have? I don't know. Well, what are her symptoms? I don't know. She's homesick. Well, is she going to go to the doctor? I don't know. She's homesick. I thought this should all go to plan, right? I mean, if somebody's going to the hospital, they definitely let me know. So I saw this and I thought, you know what? It's not just me. So here we go.
My wife and I have a good friend who got divorced about 6 months ago, and neither of us had seen him since his divorce. I went golfing with him last week. First time I'd seen him since then. I get back from golf and my wife goes, "How's Gary?" I don't know. Oh, I thought you were going golfing with Gary today. Well, I did. And you don't know how he's doing? That never really came up. Did you ask me to ask him that? No, I thought maybe you would think to ask him that. I didn't think of that. Well, is he dating anyone? I don't know. How would I know something like that? Were you two in the same golf cart? Yeah. You're kidding me. You were in the same golf cart for 4 hours, and you don't know if he's dating anyone? I know he's got a new driver. How is that possible that wouldn't come up? How is that possible that would come up?
Yeah.
At 150 markers right there, you're probably at about 135. Are you dating anyone?
That's all I want. So I know it's not just me. It's not just me, and I'm glad everyone is coming along here. They've had the same conversations time and time again. It's like I don't know. Again, if somebody's going to go to the hospital, that's fine. If somebody needs my advice, I'll ask it. And that's it. All right, appreciate you, Lynn. Appreciate each and every one of you for playing along, and this is too much fun. So we'll keep doing it. We're going to do it again tomorrow at noon right here on In Other News. Like this, share it out. Let's grow it. Let's grow it. And we'll just have fun each and every day. Like I said, right here on In Other News. Have a